Hello and welcome to Kelly Loves K-Pop. I'm Kelly. If you're new to this channel, I'm a tarot reader. I'm a psychic. I do readings on Korean celebrities, but I am happy to do readings on any celebrities. My free reading request list is closed for the moment, but I do have a Ko-fi page if you'd like to order a celebrity reading through there. You can also order private readings for yourself, which I can do a private video or a private email. Totally your choice. I try to keep my readings affordable, but feel free to message me on Ko-fi or DM me on my Instagram, which the link is in the description of this video, if you want to go over prices or have questions for me, anything like that. So without ado, I'll go ahead and tell you that all tarot readings are for entertainment purposes only. Everything is coincidental and alleged. I'm not affiliated with any groups or any companies. I'm all by myself over here. So today's reading is SF9 members' personality. We're going to do the entire group. I do a little bit of an astrology keyword just to kind of get you familiar with their signs, and it kind of gives me a jumping point for their personalities. This is their sun sign. So it's not the entirety of their personality, but I draw about 6 cards and we just kind of see what jumps to the front, what's, the forefront of their personality. And then make sure you stick to the end of the video where I'm going to do a little bit of a group tarot reading that just covers their current energies. So if you want to see what they may be dealing with at the moment or in the near future, please be sure to stick around, like the video, subscribe for more. I do have some other SF9 readings that will pop up at the end of this video. I have a playlist. I've done some kingdom predictions and all that good stuff. So this is going to be a pretty long video. I'll try to make sure I put the chapters in so you can kind of skip to your favorite member if you don't want to see the entire thing, but sometimes you miss all the juicy bits when you do that. So we'll go ahead and get this started, so strap in, get yourself some water, hydrate, or your favorite beverage, and let's go. We're going to start this reading with Youngbin, who I believe is the leader. Found out some interesting stuff. All of these guys are tall as heck, man. I was on their member profiles. I'm like, they're all like 5'10" to 6 foot, 6'3". Rowoon's like 6'3". What? Who do you think they are? K&K? Come on. I'm joking. Please. So I will go ahead and draw 6 cards here. These are my Wild Unknown Archetypes by Kim Krantz. I have modded mine to add kind of keywords because some of the archetypes in this are a bit abstract. But I do kind of like abstract because it lets me have a wider base to pull from. I'm not so limited, it's not so it's just not so boxed in. It lets me have a little bit more room to play. So please don't make fun of my junky handwriting when you see it. Okay. Youngbin, let's go. Oops, well, I guess we got one. Okay. We got a jumper. We got a talkative one. Any more jumpers? Oh, okay. Okay, I'll pull the rest. Okay. Awesome. So Youngbin is a Sagittarius, and just some general keywords for Sagittarius is the Voyager. They can be enthusiastic, philosophical, independent, generous, ethical, seeking, happy-go-lucky, adventurous, honest, unbridled, experimental, lucky, boundless, traveling, risk-taking, sometimes tactless, and self-righteous. So we have pros and cons, just like in this reading. I see some pros and cons already as well. So we have the stone, and we have it kind of more in the shadow aspect, which means he can be a bit closed off, I think. I think sometimes Sagittarius can be hard to know if they're not really feeling comfortable. I don't know if he feels like can feel overwhelmed easily or something, but it seems like he doesn't like to show his whole personality. easily or quickly. He may be someone that takes a long time to get to know. But once you do get to know them, they're like a rock. Like, you're gonna count on them. They're gonna kind of always be there. So it may be just that he's it's hard for him to commit to people, because once he has a hard time leaving them. So he wants to make sure that people that he brings into his life are, you know, worth it for him, because he's going to be very dedicated. But so for now, it seems like he kind of holds back. And in the industry that he's in, that's not surprising. There's a lot of people who want to use you, people who, you know, want you to trust them and are really not trustworthy. So I see that for his, like, kind of most, you know, usually left to right. It's like going to start with the most energy that's most in the forefront, right? Then we have the vow kind of in shadow. So again, he's a fire sign. So when he's in a bad mood, he might have the tendency to take it out on other people. You know, this is like this hand kind of grabbing and leading, forcing people to do kind of what he wants. I don't know if he's the type that can be physical in nature, where he's, you know, a bit rough, maybe. You know, it's like kind of, again, when he's your friend, like, he's your best friend and he's there for you and stuff. But if you cross him, he may be the type that's not afraid to, like, put his hands on people, right? Like, you know, it's like here we also have the stone, the vow. This is like, he's very, like, if he tells you he's going to do something, like, he's going to do it. And if you tell him you're going to do something, you're going to do it. So there may be an aspect to him where you're not getting out of promises you've made to him, even if he has to kind of make you do it. This may be something that's more towards the group, more towards his leadership style. Like, if he's got to come, grab you by your hand, walk you over like a 2-year-old to do something, because you're, for whatever reason, it's not as important to you as he thought it was. He may have a tendency to do that. So, you know, if that, sometimes that fatherly energy can be a little overwhelming, maybe. And then we have the Starborn, which is like, he follows a path because it truly is his passion. He feels destined to do this. He feels this is what whatever, you know, celestial being he looks up to. He feels like this is the universe putting him on his way, that he's divinely guided, you know. He does not second guess his direction in life. He fully believes this is where he's meant to be with his entire being. You know, he wants to be a celebrity. And this also, Starborn, kind of, to me, feels like he just has that natural charisma to be a star. Like, he was going to be a celebrity. I mean, like I said, he knows it, but he has that je ne sais quoi. He has that star power, like, innately for him. So it's like, this comes easily for him. This is what he's always wanted to do. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if there's footage of him, like, as a child wanting to be a singer and singing along and bopping along and stealing, you know, the attention from a family gathering, things like this. Like, he just naturally has been the center of attention most of his life, probably, and really enjoys that. Enjoys being known for something that he's good at. That's a lot of fire sign energy, and this group also has a lot of Leos, so we're going to see this as a pattern through the other members as well. So there may be also, like, this competitive edge with a lot of them, because they all want to be the center of attention. So yeah, so that's definitely true for Youngbin. Then we have the cave in shadow. Again, this is exclusionary, hiding, withdrawn. I don't see him having a lot of friends. I don't see him probably even being that close with a lot of his group mates. Again, it could be that he's trying to be professional. It could be that he feels very competitive with them. Could just be his interests pull him away. You know, he's more focused on himself and his own career than really catering to his friendships. You know, like I said, this person that's kind of like, it's hard to get to know them, but once you do, he really is there. But you have to, like, pass the test. You have to get the invite. You know, it's a very VIP elite thing. So yeah, like exclusionary, like he does kind of want to be friends with a certain type of person. He seems very selective with the type of person he wants to be friends with. So yeah, and there could be an aspect of like shyness, you know, a little bit of insecurity, but I really feel it's more like, if you don't give me the same amount of energy that I give you, then there's no point in me being friends with you. Like, he just seems very confident in himself and wants to be around other people that are probably that confident, probably just as successful, or at least as driven as him, as ambitious as him. It seems like you have to meet a certain requirement. So then we have the orphan. And this, again, I guess he's okay with not having a lot of friends because he's very self-confident. He has a deep appreciation, like, for himself. He has high self-esteem. Like, he's one of those people that's okay being alone. He's really comfortable being off on his own, doing his own thing. He makes himself happy. You know, he doesn't need validation from others. I just feel like he must have some kind of interests that really, like, cause him to be kind of off on his own. And I don't know if that's just like he takes his rehearsal time really seriously, or he likes to go off to the gym, or he likes to just go off and meditate. There's something, an aspect to him that he really just enjoys being alone. It's like super important to him for some reason. And then we have the gem, and this just shows to his creative aspects. Again, like, he may have a lot of different interests, and maybe that's part of why he's kind of off on his own, is because he's always into something new. Maybe it's hard for people to keep up. You know, every week he's kind of learning something else. So the minute he kind of makes friends in one area, he's off to the next thing. So then he doesn't see those people anymore. This kind of just like this being like really multifaceted, really open-minded into like a lot of things. Yeah, I think he has like this zest for life where he really does want to try everything, kind of have his hands in everything. And it could be that too, like he's off on his own because maybe his interests are also in business, they're also in investments, they're also in like other things that maybe a lot of other like idol peers are just not into, and that's why he's kind of off on his own. So that's kind of what I have for our leader here. And then we'll have Inseong next. I believe I've done readings on Inseong before. I don't know if it was a friendship reading or previous personality reading, but whatever it is, I will link it in the cards right now. And Inseong is a Cancer, so let me put him up here. I'll read his in a minute.
Inseong. Tell us about yourself.
Okay. Got like a few of them here. Okay, so we only need one more. Oh, okay. So, all right. So Cancer, let me move this out of the way. Cancer, the doula. So some keywords are, you know, feeling, sympathetic, comforting, nostalgic, protective, intuitive, birthing, tender, nocturnal, caring, moody, receptive, sentimental, introverted, defensive, and family oriented. I noticed there's no air signs, I don't think, in this group. I think we have a lot of fire and a little bit of water and a little bit of earth signs in here. So that's a really interesting mix. And considering, you know, that the one fire sign that's the leader is probably the one that likes to be off on their own the most is really interesting. So we have the maiden, kind of in the shadow. He might kind of live in his fantasy world a little too much. He might also have like this kind of youthful naivety to him. It's like almost that he still lives a little bit in this idealistic world that where people are who he wants them to be. Like, yeah, he's a little too trusting. Inseong may just have aspects where I don't know if there's maybe past trauma or something in his life where he kind of just idealizes things and doesn't want to see kind of the problems around him sometimes. Maybe he runs from them a bit and just like, everything's fine, everything will work out fine. If I ignore it, it'll go away. There's a lot of that. Also, Cancers are kind of known for like compartmentalizing their feelings and not wanting to approach that, especially I feel like, especially if you're dealing with fire signs who are kind of just known to be really aggressive in those areas, and maybe why he introverts a little bit into himself. You know, because I don't see any cards here that are showing that if they would be too aggressive. So I just think maybe this is something that they've learned with the people that they're around, that they have to kind of just, you know, I want to say almost like they give people excuses for bad behavior or like not respecting their boundaries. They kind of just forgive too easily. Like there's just that kind of feeling that like they didn't mean it. Oh, well, they apologized, so it's okay. Like there's just kind of this energy around. You know, when we see the mother, which is part and parcel for Cancer. So we also have like that nurturing, creative, feeling. They're definitely, like you said, they may take like their frustrations and turn it into their music and use that as their outlet and their coping mechanism when they're upset. You know, they definitely like put their feelings into creativity. Again, they're good about fantasizing and pretending and building stories in their head. So, you know, they may be a good writer. They may be like, again, a producer, songwriter. I see like not just like lyric writing, but like composing, right? Something like this, like creating moods, creating spaces for their feelings out of music and words and that kind of thing. And not afraid to try something new. You know, I think they do like to, I don't want to say too adventurous, but they do like to live a life with a lot of experience. Oh, I had one card more over here that I didn't see. All right, so we'll have an extra card. Oh, okay. We'll get to that in a second. Okay. It was hiding over here. I can't believe I missed that. Okay. So then we have the Vision. They kind of get a half and half. So again, we have like really trusting, not they say boundless, but you know, again, where I said there's trouble establishing like boundaries, you know, it could be that, like I said, we have a bit of this like follower personality type. They don't like to be in charge. So they kind of follow, like they like having the strong personalities kind of take the lead in a lot of ways. And, you know, they're more of a helper. I don't want to say subordinate, but you know what I mean? Like they're not aggressive. Their personality is very non-aggressive. Like, in fact, like it kind of leans well with this card is like when they want something, they're way more like seductive, maybe slightly manipulative about it. They're not gonna just like go out and like kind of fight for it. I feel like they kind of get other people to do that for them. You know, this is the siren. This is the siren song. This is about being alluring and kind of, I guess, knowing they're not going to like out argue people, so they have to make people like want what they want. They have to like really sell that. But this is also like a bit of a femme fatale aspect. They might like sexy clothes or being a little more fashionable or even being a little bit more androgynous, writing some of that line. I was like, we're still in Inseong, right? I feel like I've already talked about him a lot. We're only halfway through. Yeah, so there's a little bit of that. Like, he definitely knows he's gonna get more flies with honey than with vinegar. Like, he's definitely on that. But I do think sometimes he's still too trusting. He still lets people in too much. He gives people too much. So we have the crone obviously in reverse, but isolated, a bit ostracized, a bit bitter, I do think, you know, because he holds so much in. He kind of maybe builds these resentments that he doesn't know how to deal with. And like you said, he'd rather just try to find a way to let it go, forgive and forget, turn the other cheek. It's very this. So in a way, he kind of can probably feel off on his own, like people don't fully understand him because he doesn't know how to fully communicate some of his feelings. So some of that, we got the maiden and the crone and the mother. That is really, really interesting. The Inseong kind of, and the siren, we got a lot of like feminine energy for them, you know. And that doesn't mean like they're effeminate, but it does mean maybe they're in touch more with the feminine energies. They're more in touch with the nurturing, catering side, you know. They're kind of this balance between what seems like Youngbin's like masculine, aggressive energy. Inseong's almost catering to the opposite side of that. Like maybe they feel like they have to overdo it to balance things out for the others. So there's a lot of that. And then we have the bridge. So again, this is like cooperative. It says communicative, but I do feel like it's more like understanding, like of other people, kind of like I said, connection. Them having connections with others is more important than having clear and established boundaries. Like I guess they feel very, very connected to their friends and the people around them, and like having those connections is very, very, very important to them. I guess, you know, they may have some sort of validation that like feeling like the more people like you, the better of a person you are, right? Like, whereas the last one was like, I'm fine being on my own. I don't need anybody to validate me. I feel like Inseong definitely does need people to validate him. I think he needs to have a large circle of people that appreciate them, because I do think there's a direct line to their self-worth there. That is good and bad. I mean, it's good that they have a circle of people that they can call on when they need to get away from other, you know, people, but they definitely need to be careful that they're not getting taken advantage of in any kind of way. And then the last one here. So again, we have kind of a little bit of this. We see like, yeah, people pleasing, overly people pleasing. This is a shapeshifter. This is like, I'll be whoever you need me to be. You know, adaptive, complex, but sometimes to the point of remember who you are. Don't forget to put like what you want first. Like again, the siren, there's a little bit of this like kind of manipulative energy underneath it. Like instead of being direct, they try to manipulate people into doing things as they want, instead of just asking them directly. You know, it's like out of a fear. It's not like, oh my God, I have to control these people, but it's like out of a fear of hearing no. Like they don't want to hear no for some reason. They really want to just get people to do what they want, and in a way where it's like, you think it was your idea, but I planted that seed. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. Like there's a lot of that for them. So yeah, Inseong is definitely a very complex person, but a very like deep emotional person as well. So that's very, very interesting. So we'll go on to the first Leo, which is, is it Jaeyoon? I think it's Jaeyoon, not Jaeyoon, right? Jaeyoon. Let's get our Leo card, which we'll have out a lot today. This many Leos in a group, I am amazed if they don't fight. They're either like best friends or worst enemies. I feel like for Leo, that many Leos, there's like no in between. Like there's usually an aspect of Leos that are very much people pleasers, that like want to be needed, need to be needed, but at the same time, like they can be very much my way. You're like power hungry sometimes, so it may depend on what the rest of their charts are for these Leos on how they get along with each other.
Jaeyoon.
I hope I wrote his name right. That's what I thought I saw. forgot the orphan, but the other aspect of it. All right, so Leo, the lover, expressive, creative, loving, playful, warm, overt, self-confident, flirtatious, extroverted, guileless, egotistical, proud, trusting, excessive. I love that these cards also have like some like little edgy things they throw in there, like juicy and bedazzling, and I'm just like, how is that a personality trait? But okay. But anyway, so yeah, like Leos typically like to be needed. They need, like, they'll give you the shirt off their back, but they need like the gratitude. Super important for them, generally speaking. So we have the mask and kind of in shadow. Yeah, there's like a fear of rejection here again, that need to be needed kind of thing. They can be a little bit deceptive. You know, they may not fight fair. You know, like they keep, I want to say, they have a long memory, and if like maybe you wronged them or you said something at one point that was kind of mean, they may shrug it off in the moment, but they'll keep that for like when they need it in an argument later, and it may come back to haunt you, like kind of that, like they let you think things are okay when they're not, but they're gonna be a little deceptive about when they bring that back into play, but and they're gonna do it when it's most convenient for them. But yeah, there's also this fear of rejection. So even though like they may be really hurtful in an argument, they usually will come back later and apologize, because they don't actually want to, they want to win. They don't want to lose people, but they want to win. They like the power. Again, we saw warm in here, and we have warm again from the womb. This is caring, nurturing, harmonious. Again, a really creative person. Leos in general are really creative. Jaeyoon fits that stereotype. It works well with others, you know, really probably encourages other people, wants to do well, so he wants to see everybody else around do well. Again, they have this kind of generous spirit to them. Very warm, loving, likes to be the center of attention, but through positive things. They want to be known for what they're good at. A very fire sign kind of thing. So yeah, they want to bring in, they'll have a lot of friends. They're just naturally charming, naturally friendly, naturally fun. And in this creative environment, they thrive there. So then we have the temple, which is again, friendly, peaceful, but they may be religious or feel divinely guided. You know, they probably are at peace with whatever religion or religious spiritual path they've chosen. They seem like they're probably very deep into it. They like having clear established rules to live their life by, and this gives them self-discipline. This also gives them purpose. So I see a lot of that. And then we have the mentor, but we kind of have a little bit of both here. So you know, they are very academic. They are into learning. They're very curious in nature. They can be very focused when they want to learn something. Again, they want to be good at things. But he may be a little like rigid, you know, a little bit like when he's learning something, he may be like, you know, don't bother me. Or he could be the one that, like, if you mess up the choreography, he doesn't let you get away with anything. He's going to point it out. He's going to be like, that was wrong. It needs to be like this. He may be a little overbearing. He wants to help, but it may be in a way that kind of makes people feel bad. And he maybe doesn't understand that. He's like, well, I'm just pointing out what you need to fix. Like, it's not my fault if you can't take criticism. Like, you know, there may be some of this where it's just, he's maybe too direct in some aspects. And then we have the orphan. This one says distrustful and avoidant, but I don't really see that for Jaeyoon. I kind of feel like this card is telling me that there is an issue, maybe with authority or with his own parents. I really feel like he likes, like, there may have been a point that he became idle to kind of get away. He may just not be, I mean, as much as he, you know, says, oh, well, you can't take criticism, that may be a projection from him where he does not like authority. He does not like being told what to do. You know, to me, the orphan is like, intentionally getting away from that. So it may be a control issue, it may be a power struggle, whatever it is. He may have personal issues from his home, but it definitely feels like part of his personality is like he wants to be self-made, and he wants to get away from people dictating how he does and what he does with his life. And then we have the hunter. Again, we have motivated, like experience. I think they work really, really, really hard. Like, again, they have this like laser vision on like what they want to do, how they want to do it, how it should be, but they could have this very competitive side. Like, again, they want to win. They really want to win. They really want to be beloved for their talents or their person, for who they are, and it could be also about people in his life. If there's someone around him that he really wants to know, he is not afraid to go up to them. Like, very, like, there may be a little bit of an ego there, a little bit of like a cockiness when it comes to meeting people he might be romantically interested in or things like that. There's definitely like, I have no problem. I want to walk right up to them. It could be, a senior artist, even someone that he looks up to. He probably doesn't get starry eyes. He's just like, oh, well, that's like my idol. I'm gonna just waltz right up to them and say hello. Like, he doesn't get intimidated easily. So that's what I have for Jaeyoon. Next, we'll do Dawon, who is also a Leo. So we'll leave the Leo up here. We'll do Dawon. Okay, so we have the father. So we've seen kind of like the mother in Inseong, and now we're getting kind of the father. Again, this card always likes to come up kind of halfway for me. I always feel like it's like growing grass when it's supposed to be a tree, So when I get this way, we're going to read it kind of positive and negative, shadow and light attribute. So yeah, it's like, I think they see themselves as leadership material, but the reason why they kind of end up not being that way is because when they don't live up to their own expectation, they kind of cave in on themselves. They kind of seem like they beat themselves up. And it could be that they're kind of hard on other people too. Again, like I said, this is Leo competitiveness. Because like I said, there's like a strategy to kind of how they approach other people. But he is really protective, supportive. He likes being around people. But like if he messes up in front of everyone, like it's the worst thing in the world. If he embarrasses himself in front of people, it's so detrimental and hard for them. There's like a perfectionist nature there that it just seems like they will like start again from scratch and do it and work 10 times harder, but it's like they don't have to do that. It's like them like really punishing themselves for messing up. So they may have an aspect to that where it's like they're just way too hard on themselves. And then we have the healer, which is again, like almost like overworking. Again, there's like a competitive streak. They want to be the best, but because they overwork, it means they actually mess up more. It means like you worked yourself so hard, you've gone without sleep, so now you're forgetful. Now you haven't eaten, and now you're weak, and your body isn't working at top form because you've overworked it. Yeah, they're just super active. I feel like they're constantly like their drive is probably like insane. For Dawon, seems like too much. Needs to take a break. Needs to take a step back a little bit. and it's probably hard because he's surrounded by other people that are very similar, in that like highly driven, highly perfectionist, highly charismatic. Everyone gets a lot of attention, so you're trying to fight for that. You're trying to fight for, like SF9 not only does music, they do acting. They have a lot of going on, as I've learned. So it could be that, like, if you want to get your brand deals, if you want to get those acting roles, like, there's a lot of competition. So he may feel like he's getting outshined a little bit, and he takes that really, really, truly to heart, as his own fault. He doesn't blame other people. He blames himself way too much. So we have Alethea. Excuse me, I don't know all this. I think it's Greek. I'm pretty sure it's Greek. But yeah, I'm gonna say Alethea. So they're very talkative, I feel like. They're very communicative. They're probably brutally honest sometimes. Again, I kind of felt like that was in this father card. Like, they're kind of maybe a really blunt in nature. But they do it because, like I said, they want to live without regrets. They want to feel like they've been, the most honest with you they can be. They're not trying to hide anything. They're trying to be transparent. But it just seems like there's a theme of, like, not knowing where the limit is. For Dawon, he's like he works too hard. He maybe overshares. He maybe is too honest. Like, it's like just too much of a little bit of everything. He needs to learn to hold back a little bit, that it's okay. But I just think he has it in him that he's like, I want to just be like, want to be like just as honest as possible. And if people can't handle that, that's not my problem. Like, I kind of just feel that. Like, it's like, I'm sorry, that's their weakness, not mine. That's kind of the energy I get from Dawon. Like, if you can't handle what he has to say, that's not his problem. It's kind of like, I'm not sorry for what I said. I'm sorry you got your feelings hurt. Like, kind of like non-apology style from him. Again, we have this ego with the mirror in shadow. It's very narcissist. He might be into himself a little bit. He might, feel like he's really, really good looking. He might enjoy getting that kind of attention for, being good looking. I don't know if he's the type that would post a lot of selfies. It kind of sounds like he would be. But also, again, it's like, yeah, you're good looking, but you're probably not the level you think you are, right? Not to bash anyone's look, because I do believe that all idols are really, really good looking people. But I know the industry can be very, very specific on what kind of looks they want. Korea in general, or Asia in general, has very specific beauty standard. So if you are a brand model, if you are an actor, they're going to look for a very specific type, right? And he may think he's one type when he's not. Is more, he may think he has, like, leading role good looks, and it's not that he's not good looking, but he may not be the right type of face shape or this or that or the other for what these companies are looking for. Like, I don't know how much acting or modeling he does, but it just seems like he needs to humble himself a little bit in his searches, and he'll actually break in easier. So we have the Mystic kind of in shadow. So again, we have, like, it's a little bit shallow. He's a little bit of an attention seeker. Bluffs, again, there's a lot of this thinking you're at a level you're not quite at. And almost like a fake it till you make it. With this card is just a little bit insincere. Again, like, I think it's because he's competitive, and he compares himself to other people in the group, and he wants to think that he's at the level that everyone is. And unfortunately, that's not how the way the world works. You're not. There's always, you're going to be better at your thing while they're doing their thing, and you can't compare yourself to what they're good at. Even if that's what you want, you have to find what you're good at. So there's a little bit of that. Like, I think he wants to be in certain realms that don't suit him, right? So it's just a little bit of this. There's, like, a lot of bravado. There's a lot of, like I said, like a lot of fake it till you make it with him right now. He wants to be something. It's almost like he wants to be something he's not. So the last one we have is the mask, which kind of sits into these last three really strongly. So he, like, again, we have, like, he's very open and honest with other people and his opinions, and he's not afraid to, like, say what he wants. But again, there is this, like, fear of rejection. Like, he overworks, he sells himself. He lets his ego get kind of out of hand because he wants to be the best. He has, like, good intentions, but it's like there's just a side of himself he either neglects or doesn't want to accept because it doesn't fit with what his ideal of, like, success is. So he just needs, I think he just needs to accept himself more. He probably just needs to, like, honestly learn to love himself a little bit more and stop comparing himself to other people. Stop hiding aspects he thinks doesn't fit, and learn to accept those, and those will make him endearing and distinct and stand out more, instead of trying to hide them and feel like they're a weakness. You know, he has a lot of strengths. I just think he's trying to push the wrong ones for some reason. And it could be that he's being pushed by the company to be a certain way, or they've killed his confidence in certain areas, so he overcompensates in others. So I feel like a lot of that coming through from Dawon, and it's really, I hate to say that because I think he's super talented and has a lot to offer. I think he needs to understand more what it is that he can offer. So that's what I have for them. I'm sorry that one went on for a while, but sometimes if I get on a tangent, I want to follow through. So okay, so after Dawon, we have our other Cancer, who is Zuho. Okay. Okay. So we see this come up again for another Cancer in the group. So just pointing that out. So we'll put the Cancer card back. Like I said, you know, comforting, nostalgic, sympathetic, intuitive, you know, our deep emotional wells of the group. So we have the Threshold. So this may be our more kind of like unique, isn't afraid to test boundaries, try different things, kind of go off on their own thing, even if it's not as popular or as well accepted. Has a unique way of thinking, and isn't afraid to kind of, like I said, push the limits of what's acceptable, or he may just be the more quirky one in the group. He may be the one that has like a weird, unique sense of humor. But also it seems like they have this natural drive to like grow and change as a person, try new things, just really have a zest for life, you know. We do have a bit of a narcissistic side, you know, maybe a bit of a materialistic side, maybe copes for lack of affection with shopping. They maybe have a retail therapy, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a lot of that, like self-comforting kind of with this. Certain things you don't want to face, so they may hide. Again, they're not probably the most confrontational. They're gonna mask their pain by, like you said, shopping or other things, other outlets. They're gonna get out and find another way to to forget whatever it is that upset them. And then we have Anima Mundi, which is again, it's like in tune with nature. They're good at like manifesting things. They're very perceptive. They pick up on people. They're probably like that person, like I said, intuitive, that understands when people are upset without those people really having to say. You know, he's probably that quiet hand on their shoulder when they're upset, just because he can read it on their face. Excuse me, let me get a drink of my coffee. Doing these personality readings like this for an entire group, my voice starts to go. But yeah, again, like I kind of got that with the threshold. Like I feel like they kind of like to be outside. I feel like they may be the one, I don't know if they're into sports so much as just maybe being outside watching sports, or being outside, you know, just in the sunshine. They don't suit me as an indoors person, and it may be how they also get away from any toxic energy if they're stuck in the dorm and people are fighting, because I do feel like a lot of people fight probably if they still live in dorms together. They're a little bit of an older group, so maybe they don't anymore. But if they do, I kind of feel like that was his trick, is like, well, I'm just gonna go take a walk, get outside, get away from this. Maybe he has a dog and he goes and walks a dog, whatever. There's like a touch of that, like outside is his peaceful place. And then we have the vessel. Again, this is very Cancerian. It's stable, strong, deep thinker, receptive, you know. Even though he probably has a hard time talking about his feelings, he is like in touch with them. He is in tune with them. Like he understands what upsets him. And like I said, I think he tries to just get away from that. Like it's not so much that he's in denial about what's happening, but he's just like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm gonna go do my own thing until things calm down, and then y'all can deal with that. Don't involve me. Like, you know, it's very that. But I feel like when like the fight's over, he's the one that comes back with the with the emotional band-aids. He's the one that is probably the mediator that gets people to apologize when they're wrong, to understand what's happening, who's hurt, why they're hurt. Very that kind of energy, calm. He seems very like chill, like easy to talk to. Again, he's the vessel. He's the one that, like, when people are spent, he comes and like refills the cup. You know, he's the one that solves a lot of the problems, because he's like, I don't care what happened. I'm not involved. Like, he's that nice, unbiased opinion in the middle of the chaos. Again, the box kind of was also for me one of those cards that, like, you change things by being a part of it. You can't necessarily break down an institution from the outside. You have to be a part of it. So a lot of times I get this card and immediately I think of like people that are trying to help with options for mental health for idols, or people in the industry, people that are trying to be humanitarian, philanthropic, you know, just they want to help people from their position. They understand their platform and they want to help bring other people up and help who they can. You know, structured, orderly, logical. He's probably more organized. He's probably, like I said, like when he is shopping, it's because it's from an emotional place. It's not just like it's not flex culture, right? It's not, he's like, look at my riches. He's like, no, I was having a bad day and I really needed to go shopping. And also, like I said, his going outdoors is how he kind of gets out of things. So also going shopping is probably an excuse to get out and away from things. So there's a part of that. But I do think he tries to be more practical in nature when it comes to when he's in a good mental place, you know. So could be why he wants to work to help people, because it helps him in the long run too. So to have more structure, but to have structures in place for people that don't have them right now. So that's kind of like what this card really gives me. He definitely wants to help people and see other people get help that they need. And then we have the bridge, and this one's kind of back and forth. I do think there's a stubbornness and probably a grudge holding, because he tries to stay away from arguments. If he gets sucked into them, he probably gets his feelings hurt deeply, and that's why he wants to stay away. So if you do say something to hurt his feelings, he's gonna have a lot harder time of forgive and forget. You know, he may forgive for the sake of getting along, but he won't forget it, and you probably won't. It'll take a long time to get close to him again. You know, like, he wants to be cooperative and helpful, but if you hurt his feelings, it's going to make it really hard for him to do that, because he's like, I'm the neutral party here. I'm Switzerland. Like, don't attack me. You know, if you attack me, then you're on your own. So, like, there's kind of that. Like, I think he stays away from a lot of it because he can be emotionally sensitive. I think he is. I think he's one of the people that, like, he doesn't look it, so people assume he's not, but he is. Like, I think he can be really, really hurt by people's words sometimes. I mean, we all can, but he may be extra sensitive. So then we have another Leo in Rowoon. Our big, tall man. 6'3". What the heck? What the heck? I know this is probably why they love hiring him as an actor, because he's massive. He's just a giant. Jesus. So Rowoon, let's see. Again, so if you didn't fast forward through and you've listened to the others, then you'll know what the Leo card, but like quickly, it's like playful, warm, confident, flirtatious, you know, a little egotistical. You know, they're charmers. They like to be the center of attention. They're also creative in nature usually. They're a fire sign. So, but I won't read the whole thing again because I've read it a couple times now. So if you want to hear the entirety of it, you have to go back to Jaeyoon to hear the whole Leo spiel. So, Rowoon. Let's see here. Oops, that's too many. Sorry, that's too many. Do one more shuffle. Okay, I was waiting for that card to pop up. I was so waiting for this card to pop up with Leos. Okay. Yeah, this is someone you don't want to get on their bad side. They are vicious with their words. You have to make them feel like you deserve it. They probably have a long fuse. Yeah, he's gonna hurt your feelings. So this one really is like, again, they have a high tolerance. They take a lot of crap. They take a lot. Like I said, I think there's a lot of fighting, and he lets it go. He really tries to, but once you hit the limit, I won't be surprised if he breaks things in the apartments. I won't be surprised, obviously, hanging up on people. There's like a limit, and he will explode when the limit is hit. This card is definitely like, I get it for people that know how to hurt you. Like they save it, and then like that one part of you that they know makes you insecure, that like they will take the low blow, right? Because it's like, I'm not arguing with you. I'm going to end this argument right now by saying the most hurtful thing I could possibly say to you, so you know not to mess with me again. That is this. That is Rowoon right here. That is very true to Leo nature. All the Leos in my life I know are like that too. Like, if you're going to argue with me, you better have a thick skin, because I'm not here to play around. Like, you've done it. You've pushed me to my limit. It's over for you. Now, before you get him to that point, before you make him angry, Rowoon actually is pretty bright, honest, open person, wants to help people, wants to solve problems. like I said, he's not negative, generally speaking. You really have to push him to that. You know, like I said, this is the mask and its light attribute, so it's like taking the mask off. It's like, what's the problem here? I'm not gonna stop till we figure it out. Like, whatever you need from him, he's gonna do. You know, he wants to be helpful. He wants to be needed. So yeah, he's there if you need someone to help you sort something out. He's a good person to go to. We have the kiss in the shadow. He can be probably a little bit clingy, a little peer pressury, maybe like enabler is the right word. You know, he doesn't, I don't want to say he doesn't take no for an answer, but he doesn't give up easily. Like, if he's interested in someone romantically, like, he's probably annoyingly badgering them. Like, he's just like, just give me a chance, I promise. Like, it's very much that energy. Just show up, call you every single day until you agree, you know, trying to show you, like, all the best sides of him. You know, like, he wants what he wants, and he doesn't like hearing the word no. And, like, he has to feel like he gave it every ounce of his effort before he gives up on something, especially a person. And it could be friendships too. He could be, when you're his friend, he's constantly calling you to go hang out, like, all the time. It's like, bruh, calm down. He's definitely like that social butterfly, life at the party, wants to have a good time with his friends. And like I said, if he's into somebody, he's also like really, really adamant about getting their attention. Like, again, I think he naturally gets a lot of attention. He's not used to people turning him down in anything. So yeah, if someone does, he's like, wait a minute. wait. No, people don't say no to me. So there's a little bit of that. But I think in a respectful way, you know, it's like I said, he may call you too many times, but I don't see him being like actually physically crossing borders or anything like that. Just like I'm gonna show you that I'm a good person, just like give me that chance, like very aggressively that. And then we have the crone. I have it in both sides here, a little bit of this. He could have some psychic abilities or come off as kind of like an old soul, like feel older than he actually is, because he reads people well. Like I said, he's kind of maybe a little bit of a jack of all trades, where he has a lot of knowledge in a lot of areas. Not an expert in all of them, but definitely, like, you can call him if you need help fixing a car, or you need help unclogging a drain, or just like the most random things. I feel like you can call him and be like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. I watched a video on YouTube, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of that guy, and he'll also come over and help you do it. But he also might be the type that's like, I helped you, so now you owe me. And if you don't, when I call you now, it's like when I call you to come hang out after I helped you with that thing last week, if you don't come out, I'm gonna take it personal. So there's a bit of that. It's very you tit for tat, right? Like, if he helps you, you gotta do something for him. He does it so you owe him. He wants to have that little bit of power. He kind of likes having the little bit of power. And then we have the riddle. Again, he likes to be a problem solver. We've gotten like a kind of problem solving energy from him. Like, again, he's that guy. He likes to be called for whatever reason, whatever's going on. You can call him. I feel like he probably is a little moody. Like, you can't tell him no, but if he's not feeling it today, he'll just be like, no. And then when you're like, why? He's like, I don't feel like telling you why. You know what I mean? Like, almost like, don't question me kind of energy too. And I hate to say, I feel like maybe he's a bit like that with romantic interests, especially. Like, I think he likes to play, once he knows he's got him on the line, he plays the hot cold game, the push-pull game. If you guys are not familiar with that, that was a thing, especially like back in the day. I don't know if it's still a thing, but push-pull is like, okay, now I know they like me, now I need to create space. I have to create this, like, them kind of wanting me, and then they know I'm not easy to get. Like, it's this weird push-pull thing. It's very Korean. So it's kind of like that. He wants to make himself like indispensable to a person, and then he wants to run cold for a little bit and make them like miss him. So then when he shows up again, it's like, oh my god, I can't, where have you been? You know, it's like, I don't know. It's a thing. It's a guy thing. I don't get it, but he's one of them. he's about that life. He is about that life. So it's like, yeah, it's like super clingy, super like, you have to like me, you have to like me. Now that I know you like me, I'm gonna play with your feelings a little bit. Yeah. So then we have the threshold again, but this is like, there might be like a childish side to him, like Leos can be kind of playful. The threshold usually is like an area in your life you don't want to grow up or you don't want to expand in the shadow like this. So I don't feel like it's hard to get him to try new things. I think he is a bit on the adventurous side, but I do think there may be just like, I don't know, like I do think he may just have like a childish side to him. That kind of is that area where he refuses to grow up. I don't know, like there's like certain like, I want to say like certain triggers to bring out this like kind of inner child that he may have. Again, I don't know if it's related to any past traumas or anything like that, but I do think like there's just, and maybe it's like, maybe when he's in an argument, maybe it's because like I said, when he usually in an argument, he don't want to be in an argument, so he can say something really low, you know, really below the belt. But I think it's also like, kind of like that part of him hasn't matured to learn how to just deal, you know, to not let it get to that point, you know what I mean? Like there's like an immaturity there. Like there's certain things to him that like, even though he has this like conflicting like old soul, there is an aspect to him that like maybe because he comes off like so mature, he hasn't had to mature this aspect of himself. Or maybe it's an aspect he normally hides from other people so that he can maintain like this aspect to himself. Because it's like, there's just one part of him that is still like really immature and he refuses to, it's like he's just dug his heels in. You know, it's like this picture, like he's dug his heels in on this and he's like, I really don't want to deal with this. I don't want to communicate. I don't want to grow in this. It's a very specific aspect that I feel like it is related to when he's arguing. I get this like fiery nature from it. Again, like I said, it could be in this hot and cold thing. But like I said, maybe when he's arguing, it's like, well, why didn't you tell me that this bothered you at the time? Why are we saving it till now? And it's like, because I can. You know what I mean? Like, it's just this kind of power play, like base level manipulation in an argument. It just seems like it's there. It doesn't seem like it's anywhere else because, like, generally speaking, he is really mild. So you have to kind of really push him to this extent. And like I said, this is like an area he hides from other people. So like there's kind of that. There's, like I said, I think his bad side is this is his most unevolved side. We'll put it that way. That aspect is his most unevolved aspect, and he just should work on his communication, but ultimately just really doesn't want to. Not for that. Not anything that makes him feel uncomfortable. Because he generally is so eager just to get along and help people. I think this is very more rare. Like I said, he has to really be pushed. He probably prides himself on not getting angry and doesn't even want to acknowledge when he really truly does. So like again, it's just like this one unevolved aspect to him. So, but otherwise, very kind, very helpful. Like I said, kind of likes to play romantic games when he's in that element. But, you know, so it could be that also that, like a little bit of that playful mischievousness going on. But yeah, he has a few things where it's like, he's got a duality, I guess. He's got this like true duality to him. So that's what I have for Rowoon. Let's go ahead and do Taeyang. I think I wrote Taeyang. I don't think it's Taeyang. So this is our Pisces. Oh, this is the soft baby of the group, isn't it? This is the soft baby. Cancers are soft too, but Pisces are like openly soft. So well, let me go ahead and pull my cards and then I'll read the Pisces for you. Yep. Okay. Yeah, seeing the heart here is not surprising. Like I said, the astrology cards really help, I think, for me gain like that insight, because usually I'm always guessing, and you'll find once I read the keywords, they'll continually pop up in the readings. Like, I don't know. I am a believer in astrology. I find that it resonates with my life, but you know, maybe it doesn't resonate for everyone. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm just saying, you know, I don't personally believe in consequences. Or not consequences. I don't personally believe in coincidences. I do believe in consequences. Wow. Okay. English. I swear it's my native language, but you would never know. Alright. We got the vow again. But this time we got it in the upright. Okay, 2 more cards. We need 2 more. Okay. 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 So I'm already seeing a lot of stuff around emotions. Now with the Force card, it is about, you know, being outgoing, being extroverted, but it's also like hiding one little like kind of nugget of yourself from the world that you're like scared. It's like you're super protective of this aspect for some reason. This card always just really gives me that in its imagery. Like, even though it's like this big, it's like wanting to see this big world, but also like kind of scared of it too. So yeah, adventurer, wanderer, definitely big dreams, a dreamer. Here, actually, let me go ahead and read that for you. Imaginative, compassionate, healing, empathetic, mystical, adoring, magical, allowing, dreamy, ephemeral, enigmatic, spiritual, emotional, escapist, impractical, self-pitying, and illogical. They live very much in their mind, in their hopes, and in their dreams, right? So we have like all these kind of like dreamy, sentimental aspects, and like I said, like they want to see the world. They probably absolutely love touring because they can see so much of the world, get out there. But there is this also like, I'm out in the world, but also I'm alone out in the world, and that's kind of scary. Like they see both sides of it. They feel like super exposed, but they can't help it. They want to go. And then we have the mountain, which is like uplifting, grounding, steadfast. And I do think like they're a really tried and true friend. They're very ride or die. If they care about you, like they will give you their entire heart, like as a friend. Like they love to love, right? So it's like, yeah, I think they really just they have this huge heart, and they just want to give it to people, you know? Like, so like they are that super dependable friend. And they may be a lot to take in sometimes, but they're that friend that always has time for you and is always here to kind of lift you up, right? And then we have the heart, which is like gentle, works well with others, you know, like I said, really like a romantic, really, again, they have this sweet disposition that wants to be there for people. Have, you know, very deep, intimate relationships with people. Might be a little too much of, might give their heart to too many people, if you know what I'm saying. Might be out there kind of wanting acceptance in some of the wrong places. But the vow does tell me, like, when they decide to settle down, they will be very true. They're hopeful, like they really ultimately are looking for like the one. They really are that, but they're kind of also very free with their heart. So it's gonna take a while to get here, but that's ultimately their goal. Like I said, they're a romantic. They really want to find their person, you know, and in their community, but they want to dedicate themselves to a person, to someone. Got the mentor kind of in both, which again we've had before, which is like they are really good at, you know, school, studying, but maybe they can be kind of have too high expectations of other people being like them. Like they expect other people to work as hard and learn as fast as they do, and sometimes they're disappointed when other people don't. They can get a little judgmental. I think they have like a judgmental side to people, like, why don't you understand this? It's so easy. You know, they're not expecting that it's, you know, everybody's different. Everybody learns at their own pace. You know, there may be just like a bit of a frustration, underlying frustration for people that learn things slower than them or have a hard time, have a unique way of thinking. You know, they're just like, I got it like that, you know, because they're just naturally intelligent. You know, it's like, you're just gifted that way. Not everyone is built the same. So, and then we have the underworld. So this is kind of really about their inner emotions. And I do believe a lot of like the water signs, they can have this little bit of a manipulative streak where they don't want to be too direct. They want to kind of herd you into their way of thinking. They got to come at it from a different side, and they can be just a little bit manipulative about getting their way, but they also can, like, this is about maybe being a little delusional. Like, again, I feel like they kind of get lost in their expectations for other people, and they can get really disappointed when people don't live up to those expectations because they're idealists. You know, and even also in romantic aspects, you know, they probably get disappointed a lot because they want someone who's going to commit to them at the same level that they are ready to commit, and they probably move pretty quickly. So they could be a little emotionally manipulative here and there, and they just have to watch out for that. It's just, you know, they want to be loved so bad, and sometimes they, again, either look for it in the wrong places or try to line things up so the dominoes will fall in a certain way, and you can't do that with people. You know, people aren't dominoes. You have to let them do their thing and just hope, you know, for the best, and if they don't respect you, then you just need to cut them off. But it seems like they try to get around some of that stuff sometimes, and it's not good for them. So that's kind of what I have for Taeyang. I'm really like getting into reading these guys, and I gotta hurry up. I got stuff to do today, but their energies are really interesting. Maybe just because I've been watching Kingdom, so I've been like, I myself am very curious to learn more about them. So, all right, so we have two more. We have these last two I've actually done a friendship reading on before, and it's Hwiyoung, and then we'll do Chani last. But yeah, Hwiyoung are Taurus, so let me get his card ready. These two are the last two earth signs. Having the two earth signs as the two youngest members, whoo, no wonder people are fighting. Okay. There was an airplane. I'm hoping it's not too loud now, but I had to wait for it to pass. I am in the flight path. It's like my houses are always in the airport flight path for some reason. Can't get away. But yeah, so we're gonna do Hwiyoung. I will link the friendship reading with them and Chani in the cards right now, so you guys can check that out if you want. Draw the cards. Okay. Yeah. Not surprised with your sign with any of these. So we'll go ahead and talk about Taurus real quick. So earthy, practical, steadfast, productive, tactile, pleasure-seeking, sensuous, possessive, tenacious, loyal, patient, and deliberate. Among a few other things on this card, which is like they sound like they were running out of traits. But yeah, earth signs, I feel like out of all of them, unless they agree, you're not talking them into doing something they don't want to do. They're hard to convince, right? So unless, you know, you're kind of already in line with what they think. If you're on the other side, God help you. So these two being the youngest, I bet you they are probably the two hardest members to control. Even though all the fire signs are probably arguing, the earth signs are just like, whatever, I don't care, I'm gonna do what I want. So we'll see. So again, we have the riddle. Again, we have it's like mischievous, enigmatic, but complicated, gatekeeping. Yeah, they don't put all their cards on the table. Like, earth signs are not the most communicative of the signs. In fact, they might be the least communicative. They just kind of want to go do their thing and not have to answer to people. So I kind of get that. Like, you're just gonna give them like the schedule and hope they show up. Yeah, especially as they get older. Maybe when they were younger, they were a little bit easier to control. But nowadays, I especially as grown men, you know, you just let them do their thing. You know, they also might be a little bit of a jokester. It might be like how they love to entertain themselves because like they know they drive certain members crazy and they may enjoy that a little bit, you know. Just like you like to be in control and I don't allow that. You know what I mean? Like the Leos probably like to be in power and the earth signs are just like, have fun with that. Not my problem. So then we have Thanatos. Again, in both sides, both aspects here. So it's like compassionate, transformative, but also like have a gloomy dark side. Like I feel like I don't want to say they have darker interests. I mean, then they could be into like darker movies, darker video games, you know, that, but also like there is a like, frankness and like a almost memento mori aspect, you know, if you know what that is like kind of like remembering that you too will die. Like there's just like an understanding of like the impermanence of life here, and that driving like a lot of their decisions to help people, you know, but also like I don't want to say there's a depression, but there's a lack of fear of dealing with the darker side of life, if that makes sense. Like, and there may be some negative thought processes. I don't want to rule out depression either. Like that is a part of life. That is a part of people's lives. But they just may be prone to either being more accepting of the negative aspects of life or maybe slightly falling into a negative mindset. I don't feel like they're necessarily an overthinker, but they may just kind of, you know, like I said, just be in that little bit darker of a realm than other people. They may just be, but also more, you know, probably from their practicality. Like, it's like, well, that's a part of life. That's part of what we all got to deal with. So like, I'm gonna, you know, deal with it. You know, like I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't exist. So it's just that, and that may be hard for other people, maybe a little off-putting for other people. You know, as someone who's kind of into darker stuff too, like I can relate. And a lot of times it does stem from kind of having depression or darker thoughts too, where you're kind of just more exposed to it. You're more used to it, so it's not as intimidating for you. So there may be just some of those aspects. We do have the healer, more in a light aspect, where it's like they're active, grateful, aware, self-supportive. And they feel a bit like a planner. Like they're probably good at saving money. Like I said, I feel like they're more like that person that's like, they don't waste their money on little stuff. They save, and then they buy something big. they buy something really nice, something that really helps their comfort level in their life. You know, they're the most likely to save up and buy a house of their own first. They're most likely to also give their money more to their families, to improve their ways of life. I feel like they are more materialistic in the way, like they're probably not as big as donating their money to charities as some of the other members. They're definitely more like invest in myself, invest in my own comforts and well-being. You know, because I kind of just see this like as family and helping the future of their family. And also, I think they pride themselves on being self-sufficient more than having their family help them. They want to help their family and not have it be the other way around. So I see a lot of that. Then we have the queen. So I do think Hwiyoung probably carries this really like regal nobility kind of noble aspect to them. You know, like like they just, I think, have this really strong self-confidence, and it's not out of like, you know, a lot of the fire signs, their self-confidence is like how needed are they by other people, where their signs is more like, I am self-made, I do what I want, I buy my own things, you know, like I take care of myself, no one takes care of me, and I did it myself. Like, just very like proud of themselves, they work hard, so they're proud of that hard work, and they like to kind of show it off. They may be a little bit more on the flashy side, again, maybe more fashionable. Again, like they like to save up and buy really nice things for the home, so they probably like to show that off. It's like, you know, like definitely more flex culture here. Definitely more, like, did I show off my Tesla in my latest photo? Oops, you weren't supposed to see that. Tee-hee. You know, like, I'll see, like, stuff like that. Like, are they, you know, who was talking about, like, brand name sweatpants? I wonder if they were a waste of money. Like, yeah, I'm probably wearing the most comfortable, highest, most expensive pair of sweatpants that you wouldn't even know were designer, but I know, so that's what matters. So, you know, like that. Like, that's the thing. It's like, I like to be, to feel luxurious, but, you know, I don't show it off. You know, it's like, if you know, you know. Like, it feels like that. But, you know, just very steadfast in like their power and their financial situation. You know, they want to look like they got it together. And then again, we have like the cave, so exclusionary, hiding, and I don't think it's because like they may have a lack of patience, like again with other people. I don't know if they necessarily have a huge friend group like some of the other signs, but I do think it's because like they're like, I made my home my castle, I'm very comfortable at home, I made it the place I want to be. And so they're the little hermit in their cave because they've made their cave wonderful and they just love being there. They're like, I'm most comfortable there. You're welcome to come to my home and hang out with me, but I don't want to go out there because I'm not comfortable there. So I get very much that energy. And then we have the village. I feel this very much in the professional setting. I feel like he does want to know a lot of his peers. Like I said, maybe not the closest of best friends with them, but I feel like he might have the most contacts in his phone. He might just really be important for him to as a networker, like professional, like I know someone who does everything. Like, I think if Hwiyoung puts out a solo album, he already has like his stylist ready and his video concept artist ready and the producer and the songwriter, and like he has all of that, and he has all those people already in his phone. Like his community, he's built his contacts to his community, and I think he has really long lasting relationships with those people. But I think it's a very professional level, but at the same time he maintains those work relationships because they are important to him. So that's kind of what I have for Hwiyoung. And now we'll do Chani. We'll do the baby. So weird to think Chani is the baby, because I feel like he doesn't have baby energy. Like a lot of maknaes, maybe I haven't watched enough SF9 content. Let me say that first. But like in my last reading with Chani, he was very much like, leave me alone, don't tell me what to do. Like he's had a really rebellious energy. So I'm curious if that's like just part of his personality, or it was just directly aimed because he was tired of whatever Hwiyoung was doing at that moment. So let's see, Chani. He's probably the one I get asked about the most, which is surprising because I always thought Rowoon was the most popular, but maybe not. But it could just be my blog reached his fan base a little bit more. The chances, if you will.
Okay, let's see.
All right, Chani. Whoa. Okay. All right, so we have starting off with Gnosis. And this kind of, again, I feel like it matches up with the last reading. Like I get a lot of like self-supportive, self-sustaining, like self-confidence. Like he seems like he really knows what he wants to do. Let me go ahead and put Capricorn. And he's a Capricorn, so again, that should not be surprising. So Capricorn is serious, authoritative, ambitious, realistic, structured, traditional, wise, accomplished, badass, competent, prepared, down to earth, reserved, rigid, disciplined, right? Like if anybody's got a 5-year plan, it's Chani. So we have Gnosis. Again, this is sage, deep knowing. I see like the cycles here. Like it's like almost like he understands if you fail, get up, try again. Like very much like not intimidated by failure as I think some of the others were. Like he's just like almost a person that like learns from your lessons, right? Like, okay, this didn't work. Okay, so next time I'm gonna try it this way. Like just a really logical, practical approach to learning new things, trying new things, not afraid to try new things, not afraid to fail. Like I said, he definitely seems like he isn't intimidated by big ideas. You know, he's like, I'll just keep trying. I'll get through eventually. Like he is very optimistic in a way, but in a realistic sense, not in a, you know, dreamy sense. You know, like again, very practical. So then we have the womb. Overly independent. Like I said, I got a rebellious nature from him really. When it comes to being told how to do things. I think he has very much his own mind about how he likes to do things. And it can come off a little cold or contrary, just rebellious, like really anti-authority. Even though he likes structure, he likes to be disciplined, he doesn't like people constantly telling him how to do things. I think maybe he just enjoys finding it out for himself too. But he definitely, again, has his own ideas of how things work and what he wants to get out of them. So we have the empty room. Again, optimistic, sees potential, creates possibilities. You know, the world is his oyster. Like I said, if he fails the first time, he's going to keep doing it until he gets there. He doesn't see anything the only thing that's going to stop him is him, in his opinion. So yeah, this empty room is like this blank canvas just waiting for him to do whatever he wants to do with it. There are no limits for him. You know, he wants to try it all. And I think in my other readings too, I've always said, like, I don't think he only wants to be an idol. I do think he wants to use it as a launching pad to expand as much as he can. it's a small part in the plan of where he wants to go with his life. So we got the Flame also, which is like health conscious, clear-minded, like good with food, you know, probably really enjoys food, but really enjoys having like a healthy, clean lifestyle. Like I said, very logical. Like if I put in good in my body, it will come out good. He probably are very health conscious about like working out too, and you know, just generally managing himself and his health well, wanting to be in peak condition all the time, very driven. And then we have the Orphan. Again, this to me, these two speak together about him, like being so independent, so self driven that he really doesn't want people coming in, telling him what to do. Again, he's also probably a little bit distrustful of people's intentions. Like he's worked in this industry since he was very, very young. So I think he knows there's a lot of snakes. The snakes, like, you know, are always circling. So he's not going to be super trustful of them. You know, they're also a tool for him to get where he wants. But I think he understands that he's not going to let them own him, right? He's going to always be his own person when it comes down to that. And if he doesn't want to do something, he's not going to make anybody, let anybody do that to him. I think he does have very clear boundaries, and he's not afraid to upset people if they cross them, or if he doesn't want to do something. He's just like, whatever. I don't care. This is my life, and I have my own plan for my life, and I have my own way that I want to do things, and this doesn't fit into that, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. And then we have the Self, and I have the Self in like both aspects here as well. He does have the ability to be very kind, very open, very loving to people that are in his small circle. But again, like, he understands that these snakes are going to always be around trying to take advantage. So like, he will close a lot of people off. Like, you just don't even get the chance. He will be cordial, he'll be polite, but he will not be friendly to you. Like, unless you have come highly recommended, or you just come across really, really trustworthy. He understands people can be charismatic. He understands people can be silver-tongued. And he's just like, nope, myself is the most valuable thing I'll ever have. I am the most valuable thing in my life. And, you know, I'm not sorry if you're not aligned with what I see and what I want for myself. But if you are, if you're a person he has brought into his life, he's very protective, and he will treat you like he treats himself. Like, you know, you will get all that love and respect, and like I said, you'll have access to everything that he has. Like, you know, at that point, it's mi casa su casa. It's like, you know, your family, you're here, whatever's mine is yours. But he understands with new people or working people, he's like, no, I don't need a billion friends. I don't need all you guys. I know what I want to do, and I'm gonna do it myself. Like, very, very, very independent, strongly independent, comes off of him all the time. And for a Capricorn, then that's not surprising at all. So that's what I have. I'm gonna do a very quick tarot reading now, and just on the current energies of the boys. And this is my Anima Mundi tarot. Since we got the Anima Mundi card, it seems kind of fitting. This is an animal deck by Megan Weyerweeden, I believe is the name. Weyerweeden, maybe? I'm sorry if I'm not great with names. But they have a great Etsy shop. Okay.
SF9 current energies.
interesting here. We got a lot of court cards. So immediately that makes me think there's a lot of people kind of interfering with what's going on with them. They got a lot of hands like in the pot, and I don't know if it's because right now they're dealing with what the company wants, what Mnet wants, what they want. It's like it just feels like a lot of people speaking at once already. And the Temperance card being in reverse also just tells me like there's a lot of imbalance. So we'll go into why that may be the cause. So we have the Queen of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles, and this kind of just tells me there's a lot of creative potential, like a lot of creative ideas and creative forces, but not sure how to fund it. Like, I don't know if their comebacks just haven't been selling that well, so it's like trying to make the most out of what little money they have, or it could just be because their company isn't that big and they're trying to appear as big as some of the other groups because like creatively and talent wise they are on that level, but financially they're not. Again, so like I said, their company kind of just doesn't feel like Temperance to me is a company card. I always get it because I always view this as like management, of balance, of like how you're handling all of the things. You know, and usually I'm talking about a group, so that would to me mean the company. We have the Page of Swords too, so this is about like with that King of Pentacles too, that could be the person that's running the company, honestly, and it's like running out of money and running out of ideas. And it could be like running out of ideas about how to get income, you know, like it's like, okay, have we tried that? We can't do too many fan meets because of the plague that's going on. We're trying releases in multiple countries and they're all just kind of doing okay. It's like there's like the idea is like, what else can we do? What else can we do? It's like this. It could be that they also want to take a new approach, because they feel like the old approach isn't working, and I kind of hope that's the idea here. We got a lot. This whole row here is cups. This is all feelings. So there's a lot of emotions riding right now. And when I did my kingdom prediction, that was the main thing I got from it too, is that there's a lot of feeling like eyes are watching them. Like, I don't know if it's pressure from the company, like, okay, you're representing us. Okay, this is like a big deal. You have to do well. You have to do this and that and the other. And then like dealing with what the company wants and dealing with like Mnet's like, okay, well, there's got to be drama and it's got to be high energy and you got to have, you know what I mean? Like, it just feels like there's a lot of voices like manipulating them right now, and like they don't like it. It doesn't feel like they like it at all. Like it's really stressing them out. But more emotionally, like there's maybe more disappointment here. So we have the Eight of Cups, which is like walking away. It's like leaving something behind. Again, maybe like the old ideas that really weren't working for them. But maybe they don't want to leave their concept. Maybe they like their concept, and then that's disappointing for them. Yeah, and the Seven of Cups in reverse is like being out of options. It's like, again, like they've tried all these things, they're not working out. And then the Page of Cups, though, to me is like a new friendship, a new bond. So this made me think they do want to try something new. And I keep getting like new concept. Either that or like, I don't know if the company is going to merge with someone, you know, like start working with someone new in some way. It's like a new relationship, a new bond, like. And the Six of Cups is like, yeah, this was your nostalgia. This is like leaving something in the past now. So my only problem with the Queen of Cups, it's like almost these two remind me of like chasing money over your feelings, or like, I don't know if their company really feels like it's lost its integrity in a way, like, but it could also be a powerful woman, or I say maybe just like not the, like a vice president or something is walking away, or a creative director even could be like walking away. and leaving company, and that's causing some of these changes, and maybe like there was someone they were close to. But either way, this Queen of Cups tells me like there's like a lot of bitter feelings, a lot of sadness around what's happening. And like I said, like this person like building up a relationship, it doesn't even seem like it's necessarily a financial one at this point. It could be very, very new where they haven't established the financial side of that and they're just looking into someone new. But they're definitely having to move on from the past. They've exhausted a lot of options. And like I said, unless this is about Kingdom and then it's just about like them trying everything that they know how to do and still kind of not getting what they wanted out of it. So it could simply just mean like they're kind of lost, and being lost in their direction on Kingdom is going to cost them in the long run. And it could be just directly that, but I'm really seeing that there are going to be some big changes for the group that they're not necessarily comfortable with. Okay, sorry about that. I had to take care of something real quick, but we're basically at the end of the reading here. Yeah, I see just them trying to come up with a new direction, a new approach to something. Like I said, it could be the group in general. It could just be Kingdom. So I guess we'll find out. But yeah, it just feels like they're dealing with a lot of different opinions, a lot of different voices, and a lot of things just like the way they were doing things, they cannot do it that way anymore. Like the options have run out. They've had to walk away from the past. And it just seems like they're a bit upset about it, but it could be also someone that has worked with them through the past is also leaving them, and they're just upset about that. I don't think it's a group member or anything like that. I do think it's maybe a person in the company that they were close to. And like I said, maybe someone fresh is going to come in and try to give them some more ideas because they're not sure what else they haven't tried yet, what else is left for them to pursue. So that's what I have. For SF9, if you've stuck around this long, please like this video so it gets recommended to others. Please subscribe. I have all kinds of content coming. Like I said, I am no longer taking free requests, but I do have a Ko-fi page where you can make your own paid requests. Those always get preference over the free request. So any paid request will be the next request I do when I go to sit and record that week. So generally you'll get it within a week. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for hanging out with me. Please leave me a comment if you enjoyed it, if you have any ideas on what's going on, if you're a fantasy and you feel that I got any of their personalities aspects right, if it resonates with anything you know about them, please do share. And I hope you guys have a lovely day, night, wherever it is, wherever you are in the world. Please take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye.